Hey everyone, welcome back. Mir, how was your Christmas?
Oh, it was really nice. I ate a lot, and now,
Spaghetti?
well, no, not spaghetti, but everything else basically.
Oh man. Yeah, my Christmas was good too. I hope everyone who's watching, they had a great Christmas as well. I know you guys are anticipating these patch breakdowns of all these characters in before Capcom releases another patch. But we are going to plan to do them, break them down for all the characters after the holidays are done though. But in the meantime, I figured that, me and Mir had some spare time and we could discuss, give you guys a heads up on which we think are the top 5 most buff characters this season. This doesn't necessarily mean that these characters are now top 5 characters or super top tier, but from where they were before with these changes, we feel like these characters are a lot higher than in Season 3. So, let's get right to it, and of course we're summarizing these characters, but the first character I want to talk about definitely is Alex.
Yeah, for sure.
He got some crazy changes. When I was reading off his changes live during the stream, I got more and more excited as I went and realized how crazy these changes are. So first off, they just gave him an additional anti-air. We wanted some buffs to crouch and heavy punch, but they gave him a standing heavy punch anti-air on frame 9, which has a really good hitbox actually. That's can hit people that are trying to cross you up.
For comparison, Gal's crouching hard punch is 9 frames now.
Yeah.
It used to be 8.
Yeah.
So
that seems to be
it's
like
still
the big
moderately fast.
one. And then the big thing though was his V skill, man. First off, the V skill, they just integrated really well with the character now. It's awesome. So his V skill, he can now cancel it after various moves. More importantly, after the stomp. So he can stomp, go into V skill, and he still gets very impressive Oki afterwards. So basically, Alex gets V gauge after his knockdowns now, which is crazy. But there's even more. His V skill now, what does it mean? How plus does it make his normals now?
Okay, so the hard hit property that it adds to attacks, instead of just giving a counter hit property of +2, like +2 on counter hit as before, it now gives +5, like an additional +5, which is, quite a bit, especially considering that you can make moves that are even minus comboable.
Right. So you remember, you get a free V skill, Oki, and then you still get a mix-up where if you land your hit, you're +5 on whatever normal you do. This gives him crazy conversions from even his lights, his mediums, even his chop, his overhead gets conversions, and it makes it really scary now. If Alex clips you and guesses right, you're in serious trouble. Now on top of all this kind of works together. His EX knee smash, that's the one where he catches you in the air and slams you down. First off, they brought his original Oki back. I don't even know if it's the same as Season 1, but he's right next to you now. So he gets a true 50-50 grab or hit, where they nerfed that before. And on top of that, he can now hit opponents on the ground with it. So this is crazy. Now, Alex officially has a vortex, where if he mixes you up, he can go into the EX knee smash again from the ground and put you right back in the same situation. His EX knee smash in Season 1 or his normal knee smash is his best Oki options, and now he's able to actually land that from ground combos. On top of the V skill, Alex is very strong right now, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the Oki was sorely lacking for the past few seasons because, like, Alex's neutral is alright, but it's nothing, to write home about. It's nothing special. Especially because, he has long limbs and he's tall, but he's very slow and he relies a lot, on kind of like using the light elbow to get in. So having the sticking power from his Oki is very, very valuable because you'd want to play as little neutral as you can, especially against, zoners and the like that can easily keep you out. Having reliable access to Oki is amazing. Great.
Even though it's not the best, like, now he doesn't have to play neutral as long because if he is successful in hitting you, he can start his Vortex game for Alex. And he still maintains that crazy stun power that he did before now. It's just a lot more scary, a lot more rewarding now. And easily the best version of Alex, even better than Season 1, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, moving on, let's talk about another grappler that got buffed this season, and that's Zangief. So it's interesting, Alex Zangief I think you would agree with me, Mir, that we would consider him like a bottom 3 character, both those characters. So both these characters got great changes. So Zangief got a little buff here from universal changes, which was the armor absorbs take half the amount of damage, which means Zangief can V-skill a lot more while benefiting from gaining V-gauge, which is a very important tool for Zangief, considering he doesn't have green hand, and everything's designed around that. I guess you could say there's a slight nerf because you can't armor when you have no health left, but, you know. But, yeah. So his SPD damage increased on light and medium. And, did you want to say something about the armor, Mir?
No, I was just about to say that it's like, it's the, you know, the fact that you die when you have low health. It's just the price to pay, you know, for reduced damage after all. And it's so important for Zangief, especially because it's not just V-skill, right? It's standing heavy punch too, which is like a very, very important tool for his neutral. So, like, that reduced damage just means that every risk you take is not as... How can I say it? As risky, I guess.
Yeah. And you can get SPDs from that, you know? It's pretty crazy. So, like I said, the SP damage has been increased on the light and mediums. Those are the ones he doesn't get Oki for, so they're a little bit more rewarding when you land them. And they're already scary enough as it is. And Zangief's V-skill has gotten buffed. First, the flex itself gives him more V-gauge reward. And now, he's able to backdash out of it. Really interesting. What do you think that could be used for?
I think that's a great change, first of all, because it just makes the V-skill less of a commitment, you know? Because right now, you can just neutral V-skill, and that armor is 1 attack. Or, well, I mean, depends. In V-trigger is different, but... Or you can walk forward to armor more attacks, and, you know, do the crab walk
flex,
move
man.
thing.
Yeah.
The flex. And, you know, once you start walking, you cannot stop. Like, you have to do it, you know? So being able to backdash out of the held version just gives you, you know, more flexibility, right? Like especially because, you know, armor loses to throws.
Right.
So you can backdash out of throws.
And then SPD you right after.
Yeah, and then SPD you, right? Like that's the thing that you can do. I mean, a lot of people were saying, oh, you know, when you get crossed up, you can do that, but actually you backdash into them, so that's not quite what we were expecting.
I'm sure Keko's thought about that.
Yeah, but it is, you know, you can see it like being useful even in a neutral situation, like to bait out an attack. You know, if they want to break your armor, maybe they might throw out a double hitting attack, and you can backdash out of it, and you know, before it comes, of course, and grab them. Like, there's so many things that you can do with it. It's just really nice to have because, like I said, it just makes the commitment less massive, you know, for Zangief, who is already a character that has to take a lot of risks, you know, to get in.
Yeah.
So this is nice for sure. On top of the, you know, the 50% reduction on damage, gray life that you take. These are really nice buffs.
So, his normals also got greatly buffed as well. Standing medium punch got a lot better hitbox. His crouching medium kick, I think, is +2, which gives him some options to do some interesting things. And they made his Lariat Oki consistent again. I think they changed his lights for it, but before, Zangief didn't get, after he did a EX SPD, or a heavy SPD, he used to be able to go dash forward, crouching light kick, crouching light punch into Lariat, and it didn't work on every character. Recently, but now after these changes it does. Makes Oki more consistent against people that like to backdash or jump, which is great, and really helps Zangief's Vortex game. They decreased the blowback on his Lariat, so I think he gets Oki off his Lariat more on certain characters as well, which can be very powerful too. I'm not exactly sure the extent of that, but overall Zangief's in a lot better spot, enough that Itabashi Zangief is now actually playing Zangief. So he says. I think that's worth mentioning.
And Nemo was really sad about this.
yeah. He was like crying.
Yeah, Nemo was totally not thrilled.
He's like, no. That's funny, man. Okay.
Well, maybe we'll get another handshake moment.
Yeah. Moving on. This third character. The poster boy of Street Fighter. Ryu. Ryu's actually on this list, guys. We're not kidding. We're not trolling.
Yeah.
He's actually truly buffed this time. Truly buffed. The biggest change about a Ryu that really helped him is Capcom has buffed his fireballs tenfold, and they've been buffing his fireballs every patch, I might add. Now the fireball total frames went from 47 to 45. What's around 45 here to give people perspective?
Well, Sagat's low Tiger Shot's 44.
There you go. It's almost as fast as that's insane. Now on top of that, the fireballs have more pushback, which is on block, which is great for keeping the opponent out, getting that right DP spacing, and for doing your confirms into fireball, right, and making it so it's not as punishable. They also changed the fireball speeds themselves. The light version, the fireball moves slower, which is really good, considering now it recovers faster, which allows Ryu to DP you easier, and allows Ryu, when he's full screen and he doesn't have a life lead, he can chase the fireball and use it defensively. And the heavy fireball is now faster, and it's explosive fast, Mirror. When I read
just as fast as the EX, it's really fast.
Yeah, it's really fast. Like when I played against Ryu players now and they're zoning me, it's scary. I'm like, whoa, I'm having a really hard time getting in now. And
I mean,
sorry?
No, I was just about to say it's no EX Sonic Boom from season 1, but it's still pretty fast. Like that can catch you off guard for sure.
I think online it doesn't matter. It's like
it's also it's also plus, right? That's the other thing. On block, that is.
Yes, because they buffed that too. Like I said, they've been buffing his fireballs every patch now, and with this combined, Capcom went really nuts on it this time. His crouching medium kick has +2 on hit. This is good because when he does crouching medium kick in the fireball or donkey kick, it's really consistent now that you'll land those 2 hits. And his EX Tatsu gives Oki now. They decrease the blowback. So now you get a dash in throw or a dash in hit. So Ryu has sticking power. He has explosive zoning power now. And then on top of how he was built before, where he already did high damage. The only thing holding him back was they didn't change his V-Trigger 1, which I was really surprised. However, they did buff his V-Trigger 2. They also made the buffering easier for that. There's a lot of players checking out Ryu right now. Daigo wants to main Ryu at the beginning of this season. I saw Momochi checking Ryu out. Maybe even NL checking Ryu out. It's getting crazy, guys. I might even say that Ryu could be like the top 2 Shoto along with Akuma. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
I will see. I know I'm sounding crazy right now, but guys, I'm telling you, Ryu looks very strong this season.
For sure.
When I read the notes, I wasn't that hype, but after seeing it in play, it's a lot stronger than it looks.
Yeah, if you look at the notes, I mean, they're kind of boring, I would say. Like, there's nothing that it's very flashy about them.
Right.
But overall, they're good buffs. Like, it's just what the character needed. And it's definitely a great step in the right direction for sure to make the character more viable. So now it's up to the players to see, if this is enough for a competitive play.
Yes. Okay. 4th character now. Another character that we thought was pretty low before is Falk. I don't think we're surprised that this character got buffed because she
if she got nerfed, then it would have been, that would have been a surprise.
Oh, that would have been very surprised. She would have been another Ed. But, yeah, man, seriously, Falk, this character was a meme. There was, like, trailers on her, on how inconsistent she was, and they buffed her all over the place. First off, heavy changes to almost all of her normals, including, like, pushback, frame advantage, consistency on her combos, standing light punch, crouching medium punch, crouching hard punch, new B&Bs, just a lot of stuff with her normals, change the hurt boxes, just better and more consistent, take my word for it. Her dive kick now is faster, it can be controlled, you can special cancel from it, so there's a lot of depth to her dive kick now. The shotgun blast, her fireballs have been buffed. The shotgun went from -3 on block to +2.
So it's a Sonic Boom now.
It's a Sonic Boom. Hey, she's got to charge it, Mirror.
Does it go full screen? So I guess that's something to.
It's a shotgun blast, Mirror. It wouldn't make sense if it went full screen, unless you had an extended barrel. Anyways, yeah. So the prone fireball too. They buffed it as well. I think they tucked in the hurt box a little bit, made it start up a little faster. So it's just her zoning is better in general. She's a zoner, right? I still don't know what kind of character she's supposed to be. Yeah.
Well, I would imagine so. At least it seems like she's a zoning neutral character, like with anti-zoning capabilities. Like you can crouch under fireballs, you can do air fireballs to control space.
Yeah,
it's just like she has ways of navigating fireballs that is not necessarily the classic fireball war where you're just duking it out mid-screen, right? You can find new ways of like approaching that traditional matchup, I guess. So that's what they were trying with her. Just didn't work because, well,
Yeah.
well, you know it didn't work.
All right, Mir, are you ready to pop the champagne? Are you ready for this?
I mean, I don't know, guys. Like, first of all, one thing, although these buffs are really nice, and that's definitely what the character needed again, you still have to keep in mind that she's not like Menat. The what's it called? The normals have hurt boxes.
Yeah.
That's important. Like, if you go, hold on.
What's going on, Mir? What are you doing?
When you're what's it called? When you're in neutral, right, and you're at the distance, you go like this with your 4 hard punch. Like, you can still get hit. So keep that in mind. It's something. That's something that shoutouts to Sonic Soul, by the way. That's something that might happen, and this means that you still have to play neutral. Like, you cannot just mindlessly mash on buttons.
Yeah.
So the fireball especially is a very useful tool for this because it, with the push block and beam plus on block, it just allows her to kind of like dominate that close-up distance. Because for a hard punch, crouching medium punch, like all of her long pokes are really minor.
Mm-hmm.
So she can still suffer in certain matchups where she's pressured, but like overall the character is looking much better. Just because she now has tools that she didn't have before, like the plus on block fireball. Like we said, is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I was talking about before, her V skill, when you use it, it now gives V gauge. I'm not
We
kidding.
did it. Capcom only took
Whoever
a year,
thought of this change, genius. Absolutely genius. That person needs a raise. Also, her V trigger 2. It's 2 bars down here instead of 3. It's not
Now you
minus
can die.
5 billion. It's only minus 1 billion.
Okay.
And,
Well, now you can activate it twice around and die twice around.
there you go. There you go. Exactly. No, but seriously, her V trigger 2 is a lot better now. It's 2 bars. They made it. You can easily confirm it from a bunch of normals, including 4 hard punch and I think crouching medium punch and a bunch of other stuff. So it's much easier getting to V trigger 2, and like I said, it's 2 bars in general. So you're not just dead before you have it. So Falk got some really great changes this season, and just the consistency alone has really helped that character. So yeah. Okay. Drum roll, Mirror. The last character that we feel was the most buffed this season is Sakura.
Yes.
So, Sakura, man, like I said, she had a huge rap sheet of changes from Arcade Edition, but it still wasn't enough. So Capcom's like, alright, you've asked for it, here we go. So first they buffed a bunch of her normals when it comes to recovery, plus on hit, that kind of stuff. They gave her even more Oki off of her medium punch DP, which is where B&Bs all go from. They adjusted the blowback. I need to check that out myself, but that's really good. It helps her with her sticking power, and she's already an incredibly fast character. And then her heavy punch DP now has faster startup, what makes her combos more consistent. There's so many times where I do standing medium punch, back hard punch, and the heavy DP drops because of the range of the startup. It's ridiculous. So they fixed that. And they buffed her fireballs in general. Faster startup, and lowered it to 48 total frames, which is still on the slow side, but now she can actually zone if she doesn't get jumped on reaction,
Yeah, at least she can play the Fireball Warrior.
Yes,
Like,
at least
50 frames or whatever it was before, like that's so much. It's almost reactable, like
yes.
jumping on reaction, reactable.
Yeah.
So like just being able to contest another zoner is really nice, especially on top, over good movement speed, right? So you can navigate the matchup, like the zoning matchups, much more easily with a better fireball like this, and of course all of the other buffs or all the other matchups as well.
Because Capcom is really scared, careful with this character with her teenage limbs, because her movement speed is really fast, and if you keep buffing this character, right, it can make it really scary. And like I said, there was no hope for this character before. I remember saying that, but these changes look really good. I can't wait to play her. Her V Trigger 1 also got significantly buffed in many aspects. It also lasts much longer. I think it was like a 33% increase to its duration. And also the double palm strike is like Hogasho or something. It went from +6 on hit to +9 on hit, and went from +2 on block to +5 on block.
Yeah, that's
And
a really big.
There are so many crazy setups. If she lands this palm on you, you're in so much trouble. And it acts like this throw bait attack because she leans backwards and your throws whiff on her. And people have found some really great set play with her. And she's got better conversions overall with her V-Trigger 1. V-Trigger 1 looks really strong right now. Like, very powerful with her.
And to be fair, now Castro, the heavy punch, heavy kick in V-Trigger, now consumes V-Gauge when you use
That's
it.
true.
It didn't before.
But
so, I mean, I guess they thought of, like, what if it's too powerful? Like, we have to a little bit.
Yes. But with the increased duration, it still evens out anyways, I would say. So,
for sure.
Sakura, like I said, if you look at her notes, if you just pay attention to the fact that she has such fast movement speed, with the rest of her tools working together, she looks a lot better this season for sure. And like I said, overall, these patches for this season, there's a lot of characters that we feel like tournament viable. I would even go as far as to say that this is probably the most balanced version of Street Fighter V so far. But the first major hasn't started yet. That's not till March, so we'll see how that actually plays. But it's pretty exciting now that we've examined these notes a little bit more carefully than before when we were doing it like 3 a.m. in the morning and, half awake. So, yeah. So, I guess I'm going to close this up, Mir. Guys, let us know in the comments below who you guys think are the most buff characters of this season. Do you guys agree with us? Are you guys excited about these changes? A lot of these lower tier characters are now much more viable. Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. We got a lot more Street Fighter V content coming your way, especially with those balance changes coming ahead. So, Mir, thanks for joining me. Guys, once again, hope you guys had a great Christmas and a happy New Year coming up. And, yeah, take care.